So in and amongst all that madness of Algeria defeating Cape Verde by 5-1, two nations that have qualified for the upcoming Africa Cup of Nations in January, they decided to do the Afcon draw during an Algeria game, or should I say we decided to play a game during the draw. So all that hoo-ha, Ait-Con and Boo-Bar and whoever was messing about, Mohammed Ramadan, all this nonsense, dancing around, prancing out, Lion King, all that sort of stuff, didn't even get to see any of it because I'm watching Algeria absolutely batter Cape Verde 5-1. Of course I have seen the draw now, and that is what matters, and we now know how the tournament will start to take shape. We know the opening game, we know who could potentially face who in the last 16 of the Africa Cup of Nations. Now, before we actually go into the draw, can we just quickly talk about who is actually doing it, right? Drogba, makes sense, because legend from Ivory Coast. Ait-Nouri was there as well, I think. John Obi Mikel, again, legend, Premier League, Nigeria. But I cannot understand why Sadio Mane and Achraf Hakimi are picking the balls of who they're going to play against in 2 months. How the hell does that work? Could you imagine the bloody World Cup draw being picked by Messi, Ronaldo and Mbappe? What, have we got no superstars? Did everyone want to not come and just watch Algeria batter Cape Verde? What the hell? How is it fair for Hakimi or Mane to put the ball in the hands in the balls and be like, oh, let's play this? It's just odd. I don't know. They don't help themselves, CAF, as corrupt as they are. They don't help themselves of hiding all the nonsense they get up to and all the shenanigans. Now, 6 groups, 4 teams in each group. We all know that Ivory Coast are going to be Team 1 in Group A. The opening game of the Africa Cup of Nations will be Ivory Coast against Guinea-Bissau. Not quite the glamour tie, perhaps, of what we saw when Egypt played Zimbabwe or Cameroon played Burkina Faso in the last 2 editions. Ivory Coast will be thinking, we've got a great opportunity to get off the mark here. But Guinea-Bissau are no mugs. There's no mugs in this competition, and they've been at the last 3 editions. But you expect Ivory Coast to waltz that opening game. Also in that group are Equatorial Guinea. Remember the last Afcon in Cameroon, Ivory Coast were also paired with Equatorial Guinea. And those are the 2 teams that advanced instead of Algeria. But what about this? And there was such a tense, it was so tense in the studio in Abidjan in Ivory Coast when they got to pot 1 and pot 2. The nerves, and obviously Algeria couldn't get Ivory Coast because we was in the same pot as them, but Nigeria drawn out to play Ivory Coast. Now you do expect both teams to go through, but Equatorial Guinea got to the quarterfinals last time and beat Algeria, so Nigeria didn't want that. They really didn't want that to start things off, to have to get past Ivory Coast and play the host. And if they both go far, they might meet each other again. And boy, are Nigeria in for a tough one, because of course they'll play Equatorial Guinea in the first game. If they don't win that, they're going to be in a very sticky situation going into playing Guinea-Bissau and Ivory Coast. And of course Nigeria played Guinea-Bissau in the qualification and lost to Guinea-Bissau in the qualification. So there's lots of drama in this draw wherever you look. But I have to say, you expect Ivory Coast and Nigeria to both come out of this group. But at this moment in time, I don't know in what order they will be coming out of. I know that means they'll probably have the best stadium to play in because it's the host, it'll be the biggest and the bestest and the freshest. But are Equatorial Guinea as strong as they were a couple of years ago? We're going to have to find out. But Ivory Coast and Nigeria, with respect to the other teams in there, should be okay. Group B, Egypt, Ghana, Cape Verde, who we just seen, and Mozambique. Egypt have played Ghana a few times over the years. Was there not a 6-1 game for a World Cup qualifier in Brazil? But be interesting to see what happens in B. I can't recall. I think Egypt got Ghana in the World Cup one as well. They might have, you know. Cape Verde and Mozambique. Now, Egypt and Ghana should be comfortable here. Mozambique, I don't know much about them. In November, they'll play Algeria in the World Cup qualifying. Cape Verde just got twatted, but they did draw 0-0 to Morocco. So, when Morocco just bad on the day, where Algeria just better on the day, it's hard to judge. Cape Verde, new keeper is an interesting one. Again, Egypt and Ghana should be fairly comfortable here, but I don't know Cape Verde and Mozambique. From what I've just seen, Mozambique might be better than Cape Verde, but we'll see. But you expect Egypt and Ghana to comfortably come out of that situation. Group C. Now, when it got to pot 1, and you see Group C has Gambia, quarter-finalists last time, Guinea, who've got the top scorer Girassi in the Bundesliga, and Cameroon. So you've got Cameroon, Guinea and Gambia. You're thinking there's a pot 4 team coming. No, there's a pot 1 team coming, and bloody hell, someone from North Africa or Senegal was going to end up here. I thought, if Algeria get Cameroon, Guinea and Gambia, we'd be in all sorts of trouble. I was thinking whoever is in this is going to be in all sorts of trouble. Now, goodness be, alhamdulillah, that Senegal went in here, but for Mane to have to be on stage to witness Senegal get that, it can't have been not awkward. That's unbelievable. So Senegal, Cameroon, Guinea and Gambia make up Group C. Did all 4 of those teams make the last 16 last time out? I have to say, that is the unbelievable group of death, Group C, Senegal, Cameroon, Guinea and Gambia. Now, I'll breeze through A and B in terms of who the 2 for sure are going to go through. I've got no idea which 2 are going to go through here. Senegal lost at home to Algeria. Cameroon, we don't know what Cameroon are going to turn up. They're in turmoil. Is Anana going to turn up for a start? Is Song still going to be in charge? Guinea look very good, but of course Algeria will worry about Guinea in the World Cup qualifying. And Gambia got to the quarterfinals last time. Just unbelievable story last time for Gambia. They ended up losing to the host, but what a tournament they had. They beat Tunisia in that competition 2 years ago. They've got a great manager in Tom Sanfate. So I've got no idea. I think Senegal are going to come first. I genuinely think Cameroon, Guinea or Gambia could get 2nd, 3rd or 4th. That is wide open. I'm not going to say right now who I think is going to get through with Senegal. Probably 2 of them will have to go through. That group is far too quality for only 2 out of 4. So 3 out of 4 there will go through. But Gambia must be thinking, we've worked so hard to get here, and they had to play a qualifying round before even the group stage qualifying to get here, and to be rewarded with Senegal, Cameroon, Guinea. On the one hand it's tough, but on the other hand if you're a Scorpion you're thinking we've got 3 glamour ties, whatever happens we're going to give it our all, we're going to play the best in Africa in Ivory Coast. So that's Group C. It is wide open, and luckily Algeria avoided that group and ended up in Group D with Burkina Faso, Mauritania and Angola, which I thought was the one I wanted, and I'm very happy we've got this. Let me tell you this now as we talk about Group D, Algeria's group, right? This is an unbelievable opportunity for Algeria to win the Africa Cup of Nations. Unbelievable opportunity. It is extraordinary the path we've been given, okay? Burkina Faso, who we've played some great clashes over the years. It's becoming a bit of a classic. Remember the World Cup qualifying games over the years, always good. But despite the drama in those games, Algeria have always come out on top against Burkina Faso, okay? You've got Mauritania, a North African side, which Algeria are going to enjoy playing against. It won't be as physical as sub-Saharan African sides. They can match them technically. It'll be a great game. And Algeria have played Mauritania a couple of times recently in friendlies and got past them fairly comfortably. And Angola, of course, who Algeria played years ago at the Afcon in Angola, and Algeria got out that group as well, drawing to Angola 0-0 in that competition, but that was a long time ago. So I think Angola are the strongest in pot 4, but to be paired with Burkina Faso, Mauritania and Angola, if Algeria aren't coming out of this group with 9 points out of 9, then, you know, if we can't beat these, what I'm saying, if we can't beat these, how are we going to beat the rest to come? That's the point. So we're going to ease our way into this competition. We're going to start off with the lower teams and work our way up. Whereas, look, Ivory Coast and Nigeria got to play each other straight away. Egypt got to play Ghana. Senegal got to play Cameroon. Algeria can play these teams with good options on the bench and should be winning this group. Now, winning Group D is going to be crucial. This is what's crucial about being in Group D. If Algeria win Group D, no matter what happens, we will play a team that finishes in 3rd place. So we will not be playing a group runner-up or a group winner if we win this group. That is an unbelievable incentive to win this group. We've got to win this group because that means we will play 3rd in B, 3rd in E and 3rd in F. So if you think that's juicy and nice, last 16, we win the group, we're playing essentially Cape Verde again, possibly, South Africa or Zambia. You can't ask for a better route to the quarterfinals. You really cannot, Belmadi. And the fact that Belmadi has been tasked with semi-finals or lose your job, he's essentially only going to have a maybe tough quarterfinal to reach the semi-final. 1 game. So for all parties involved, this could be huge. But let's get there first. We don't know what's going to happen. Group E, Tunisia and Mali is probably a better love story than Twilight. These lot have got history. The World Cup playoffs for Qatar, arguably one of the worst World Cup players you'll ever watch in your life. There were no goals scored apart from one own goal, which was actually scored by Mali. So Mali scored more goals than Tunisia over the 2 games, but Tunisia went to the tournament. That's how bad it was. South Africa and Namibia, they're kind of basically neighbours, are they not? But South Africa should be happy about Namibia. And I think Namibia's best player, Peter Shalulile, plays in South Africa. So South Africa will be thinking, okay, we're not going to come last. Have they got enough in the tank to compete with Tunisia and Mali? I don't think with Mali, but I think South Africa have got a really good opportunity to get a result against Tunisia. Now, Tunisia could have had a lot worse group. I mean, Tunisia could have had, like, Nigeria and Zambia, right? I think Mali are going to win E, and I think South Africa might do something against Tunisia. I'm getting bored of Tunisia just getting to like the quarterfinals, semi-finals and doing nothing. They're nearly men. They're always thereabouts, Tunisia, but no one knows how or why or who. So let's go different this time. Let's go Mali first, South Africa second, and if Tunisia do end up third, of course, we could have last 16, Algeria, Tunisia, which would be very, very tasty. Once again, a bit of harissa action. And then in F, again, Morocco getting Zambia. Is that not who Morocco have got in the World Cup group? They've got Zambia as well. So lots of teams. I want to see things a bit different. Lots of teams meeting each other the same. Although I think whoever Morocco got here, they would have been okay with. I said on many videos Morocco would end up with DR Congo. No, that wasn't me joking about. It's of course they're going to get DR Congo from the pot. We know with the World Cup Qatar games, they ended up getting DR Congo, a team that hadn't even made Afcon at the time. They're going to get DR Congo again, quelle surprise. And of course, Hakimi touching the balls, it was probably decided beforehand. But you'd think Morocco would have enough to beat whoever was in there, considering the World Cup run there. I mean, if they beat Portugal and Spain, for God's sake, they should be able to beat Tanzania and Zambia. But Zambia looking good under Avram Grant, qualified well. Tanzania won't be an easy game. Algeria, of course, drew 0-0 to them, and Tanzania managed by an Algerian manager. And Zambia with Dakar up front, and DR Congo with their new team, with Banza, the striker from Braga. Oh, is he at Braga, I think? Yeah. So it will be, I know Morocco are the best in there, but the other 3 will be closer than people think. I think probably Tanzania last. Zambia, DR Congo will be close for second. Morocco will win Group F, I think. And then the tournament after that just really opens itself up. Now, whoever wins Groups E and F doesn't get a third place team. If you win E or F, you get a runner-up. So that is a disadvantage for Tunisia and Morocco and Mali and whoever. If they win their group, they don't get a third place, they will get a group runner-up. So they're going to get tougher last 16 ties than the likes of Algeria or Egypt or Ivory Coast, etc., etc. So the group winners from A to D have got a bit of an advantage compared to the group winners of E and F. So that is the group stage draw, picked out by players that will play in it, for God's sake. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I still think my favourites, Senegal, the best team on the continent, despite Algeria beating them. That just shows how good Algeria are. Ivory Coast as the hosts, and Morocco off the back of the World Cup performance, spiced up with a little bit of Amin Adli and maybe with a little bit of Brahim Diaz as well. Now, I don't actually think Morocco getting Brahim Diaz from Spain is the problem. I think they'll get that sorted. The problem is Real Madrid saying you can't take him for 6 weeks. Who do they think they are? If Morocco want to take Brahim Diaz, they'll bloody take him. Lecture, smash up Florentino Perez. Like, listen, I'm sorry, I don't care what nation it is. If they want to take a player to Afcon, you bloody let them. You don't start telling them not to. So I'll be pleased to see Brahim Diaz play at this tournament. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more. I'll see you next time.